Alright. More mission dev. We're gonna save this as a 6th mission. I'm gonna run through it. This will probably be like a 30 or 45-minute stream just to kind of show the updates on everything that's going with this document, then we'll call it a day. Speaking of, I need to open up the document on my phone so I can just verify that we have everything going here. So this would be the POG document there. And then I need to match everything that they've made. So we only have one SOCOM Humvee left. The trucks are reoccurring. I need to roll over these 2 AOs. That got sniped. There was a mortar position back there that got sniped. Yep. I'll remove those from play. And now it's a matter of how do I show the encroachment. Any other IEDs? No, it should be fine. Yeah, I'll just rule it like that. Alright. What else was lost here? They lost the Abrams. We have the D-30 still in play. I don't think they went over on the Shaheeds. I know this cargo container we need to change out. These are now going to be blue 4. I just have to remember where those are. And that would be... Oh boy. Alright, cool. Alright, from there, let me see what else they were able to capture. They captured a T-90 and a BM-2T. So let's go ahead and reflect those. I believe I was using the T-90A 2006 model. And then the BM-2. The vanilla model. And I'll leave any of the goodies in there. Now, here's what I'm thinking. They've decided to continue this campaign in terms of rallying and whatnot. So what we're either going to do... Part of me was like, we could theoretically build a bridge. And then we could, like, focus on hitting these outskirts AOs. And then whatever we get for sites, we can just add on the back end. But I'm trying to find a way where POG doesn't have to deal with vehicle spam. And you know, that's the toughie. So here's what I'm thinking we're gonna do. I'm going to clear all the AI here. We're gonna respawn them a different day because I don't want them there actively. And we can... I'm gonna do that to all these sites up here. That one also got sniped, I do recall that. So I know the mortar is still there. I'm just gonna bring that back over. Because those are old tiered units anyway. And I know that drone site got sniped. And then I need to move all of these back, but I also need to check for any weapon upgrades. I don't think we got any. Yeah, it was just a massive amount of Plinko. Yeah, and there is a tank site down somewhere. Alright, I'll put that. Oh, an IFE as well, just in bold letters. That's cute. Alright, well, here's what I'm thinking. So let me check the modifiers. I think the modifier only added for, what, 10 IEDs? Yeah. Yeah, because we're at around the 6K margin. Alright, if that's the case, let's go ahead and stack up on units here. We're gonna make these the target. It's gonna have to be a really low insertion, but I think we can give them space. Especially if they were to land, like, right on the dock right here. I'm not gonna put anything to actually cover that. But if they just follow the coast and maybe they do a wild weasel run or two to kind of check their path, I think they should be fine. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm gonna stack these all in a single garrison. So it would be 16, that's 32, and then we have 40. Then we have 80. AA gunners would be 4 for the 2 teams. I'm just going to include them in the garrison, because if we're going to be putting IEDs in this sector, then there's not really a reason for me to have patrolling AI down. Alright, so we're going to need a mortar. Static MGs, we're going to put in the form of some standing pieces here. I'm going to do 6. Actually, no, that wouldn't make much sense because we're already going to be doing 8, so we'll match it 8 to 8. I don't know why, I'm an idiot. Should have copied it with the gunner. That would have saved me a few seconds. Merge those in. We're going to need SPG-9s. See, I'll do it properly this time. And this will be our entire budget. So, AI Training Center. There's quite a few places we could actually stick this piece. I kind of want to hide it. Yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of a lot of this fluff. And instead, I'm going to kind of bury it into here. I think that would be a nice spot to put it on. We do have a pod nose. Let me look at what else we have. 4 AA statics, oh boy. And that should be it, other than the 10 IEDs, which I'll get into. So that would be 9K3 something. Oh no, first let's get the gunner in.
Send in Goat Team 6 now.
Alright. Big E, thanks for the 22-month resub. Hope you keep enjoying the operations. Hope you get a nice kick out of this scenario. Alright, so all of that, but for, like, everything in here. So right off the bat, let's go with the more core thing. So the mortar, for example, we need to put that in, like, an open area. That's not going to be, you know, immediately taken out. So I think right here would be a good call. In terms of the SPG-9s, those are going to need more placement rather than the cords because they need more of an open area. So we're going to be kind of putting those on the tops of most buildings or in any sort of Overwatch elements that we can get in. I'm going to be honest.
Wow.
IQ Master Daniel, thanks for the resub as well, buddy. Hope you keep enjoying the operations. Hope you get a nice kick out of this. We're going to be putting him... Yeah, I think Ridge Security is also going to be pretty good for these. I doubt we're going to see POG actually airlift any vehicles onto this site, but... I think having some decent setups wouldn't be too bad. You can get on top of these rooftops via some stairwells. They can bring it up via backpacking. That should be okay. Let me go ahead and look over here. We could probably tuck one up right here as well. Again, I think in terms of this AO, because there's not going to be any vehicle use, these are technically a bit more on the useless side, but we can still occasionally put some down, just kind of to watch the MSRs, because again, with this thick forest, it's going to be a little hard for POG to, you know, drive a few forces around, so I'll just stick things out where I can. Because again, I don't think I have the room to make a massive bridge anywhere. So we'll just go for what we have on this side. I'm also debating giving them some boats if they really want to boat this AO, but that means I'll probably have to stash them like down there. Yeah, I'll give them boats. Maybe some RHIBs or whatnot in case they just don't feel comfortable flying on top of the AO. Because you never know with these guys. We'll put one more right there, and then I'm trying to think where would be another good position. Put him behind the tree. Well, no, I think that... Yeah, have to put him, like, right there instead. Need a dreadnought for PvP. I don't think we're gonna be able to do that one, Bobby. I'm sorry to say. But how are you all doing? We're just gonna be doing mission dev. There were supposed to be some ops today. I didn't have the time to run them. Life had other plans for me, unfortunately, so... We're going to be spending today literally getting every other mission file I can think of done to free myself up for as much time as I can to get the other things done. And then maybe we can eat ice cream. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, so just vary the AA around, and then we should be all right. And then vehicle placement I'm going to do after, and we're just going to take that directly from the stash. And then whatever sites we have, as long as they stay alive, I'll just add those to the local garrison. I need to change how the AA sites work, though. We're going to be doubling the amount of time it takes. We're going to do it every 20 minutes. And then... I'm also going to, I think, bump the price from 40 to 50. If it's already 50, then it's fine. But, yeah, just to try to give air a little bit more of a breather. But at the same time, I feel like air can handle it. The only reason POG faltered in the last op was because I think it was Mac Marine's gunner disconnected for the helicopter. So they lost the ability to maintain the attrition, and it all just kind of fell apart. Which, you know, sucks to be able to have an op where your linchpin really is air kind of slowing things down, but that is the nature of pay for pain, you know? Because in the previous op, they did really well because air literally, we tested it. Air had a, God, we put 23 vehicles down and air intercepted like every single one except for one. And then ground took it out, and it's like, yeah, that's how these ops are supposed to be, you know? So air being kind of the linchpin, that's why I added a third group, but, or a third helicopter, but it's up to them to also field it, so, you know. Jesus, Bobby, no. Bobby. No, you're too innocent for that. Bobby, please, no. No, I didn't need to read that, Bobby. You also have an illiterate tag. You don't know how to write. Bobby, why? God damn. Gotcha, Mac. Alright, I thought it was a disconnect, but either way, that... yeah, that does kind of suck. And again, I said this earlier in the op. It's like, you know, people have asked me on occasion, like, hey, can we have ops where we have, you know, like, powerful assets and whatnot? And here we are with them in Pay for Pain and, you know, a target, well, technically Pay for Campaign and a target-rich environment. And now all those people are suddenly very quiet and very missing. So the next cycle of when I have to deal with them, I'm just going to tell them to F off. They can either wait for an opportunity and then go take it. If that doesn't suit them, then I don't really care. I've been dealing with too many people. Don't mind giving people opportunities to do stuff, but, you know, if they don't take them, then I don't want to hear them bitch. I mean, like, take the AA you're seeing me put down. That's what, 4 Iglas and 12 Igla, or no, 8 Igla chairs, so that's 12 pieces of AA, and you're thinking, damn, that's crazy. Not really. The Iglas can only really engage up to a click and a half, so if air, like, flies right over, then yeah, they're screwed. But if air just hovers, like, 2 clicks away, and just starts sniping my stuff from range with AGMs, then there isn't really jack and shit I can do about that. Hey, Rusky, welcome. It's just up to people to know how to play the assets. And even if they don't know how to play it and they fly over, I mean, hell, you could just fly over here, do a rocket barrage, get shot down, and then the thing's gonna respawn in, what, 60 seconds? You're good. Like, just, you can fuck around all you want. Just be effective at that point. Like, this is the definition of, like, there's no real consequences for any actions today, because POG is just that casual. But, you know, that's just me. Yeah, and that's another thing when it comes to experience and whatnot. If someone doesn't know how to run the frame, then you're kind of screwed.
Send in goat.
And here's the thing, in my normal ops where I don't... And even then I'm trying to fix this, though, because I've actually started putting it in the roster, and for some ops I have been for a while, but I'll tell you what the asset is. So if you want to go in and practice for like 10 minutes just to familiarize yourself with it, or go watch a freaking YouTube tutorial, do it. By all means. If you see that you're billeted in one of my ops with another guy, you can just DM him and say, hey, like, you wanna... I can port forward my computer, we can, like, put on the asset, and we can, like, test its capabilities or whatnot. Do it. You know? Practice a little bit. That way, when you go into the op, you can have fun with it instead of spending 30 minutes going like, alright, what does this do? What does that do? And we're dead. Crazy how things like that work. But Parker, thanks for the 12-month resub. That gets you a Lance Corporal badge. Hope you keep enjoying the operations, and I hope you get a nice kick out of this scenario. At least it's Dev. What op are we setting up? We're setting up the next Pay4Campaign mission for POG on Thursday. I'll be on and off today, just doing a bunch of random mission devs for the week. Other ops I have in mind are the next Hellfire mission on Saturday, a training test stop, which I'll probably run Tuesday or Wednesday, and then any other operation I can think of that will be running this week. So I gotta look at the polls again for certain things, but it just depends on what I'm ready to, you know, put out. And then hopefully I'll have my week ready to go, and then I can focus on video editing, because I kind of need to catch up on that one. Oh, yeah, and then there's a few other things for other communities I gotta look into, like Revy's 31st Steel Legion, now that I see Valkyrie in chat, because then I have to tell Valkyrie, hey, we might need to do something. But at the same time, I think we have an op ready for them that they just never ran because of other things, so I think we're good on that department, but, you know, I think with them it's going to be a wrapping up of our current arc and campaign, and then trying something new, and then just with different parameters. Less statics that can easily shoot down aircraft, and I guess more just letting them kill everything. And then Valk will just quietly take a paycheck, and, you know, we'll call it a day. Go on the mindset of, we're not trying to murder them, we're just trying to give them a good experience. Here's your money, Valk. Just make it happen. Sounds like a plan. I mean, I hope it's a good plan. That's kind of what my life's built off. Worst comes to worst, maybe we can get back in the dark tide or something. Who knows? That's going to require me spending 2 or 3 days just building out a shit ton of missions, getting a bunch of editing done, getting some front logs on the YouTube channels again, and maintaining it this time. Which I think I should be able to do, unless Bloodwing decides, hey, we need to increase the wedding budget. Or, here, I'm going to stop throwing her under the bus. How about instead, you know, something random happens and I break my leg and I have to pay the insane insurance premiums on the American healthcare system. How much would it actually cost to get your leg fixed in America without insurance? That's a great question. Yeah, don't jinx yourself. Yeah, when people tell me to break a leg for good luck. God. They didn't mean literally, right? Minimum one. Oh, obviously it's a minimum of 1K. I was thinking more like minimum 10K, bro. Guess I'm crippled. I don't need my legs to stream, right? Yeah, we should be good. I'm really good on hopping on either leg too, you know? I could get away with that, totally. But yeah, right now I'm just kind of garrisoning random units in various areas, and I'm going to look at my massive list of vehicles and see what I want to put into this AO. And then from there, we'll adjust. I was also thinking of, like, doing some ZEI templating, but at the same time, with the sheer amount of AI we're running, I don't think there's really a point. Plus, it's going to look really ugly when air finally gets fed up or artillery gets fed up and starts glassing the AO. And that's another thing I need to DM Patch about. Hey, like, the reason he has a phobia of using artillery because in the past we ran into an issue of I would make an AO, Pog would arty the shit out of the AO with an infinite ammo mortar, and then the player base would come in and there'd be like nothing for them to shoot. And I said, okay, you know, let's lessen the mortar use. What Patch has failed to realize is in a static operation, yeah, that sentiment exists because there's nothing for ground to do. In Pay4Campaign, if there's nothing for the players to do, the viewers will absolutely make sure there is something for the players to do. That's why there's literally, we had a moment where every like, not an hour, 10 minutes, there were like 9 or 10 vehicles spawning for mission like 3 and 4. So, you know, leave it to the viewers. If they want content, they will make sure there's content, but glass the damn AO. Like, your only hope at this point is to glass the damn AO. So, you know, I gotta have a deep talk with him about that. Because that'll at least allow his infantry to get in and set up a foothold. And then, you know, start spamming AT if they need to, if air, you know, isn't able to take everything out. They need that at that point. With insurance copay. 2,500 with surgical treatment costs between, yeah. So the correct answer is, in America, if you're uninsured, just don't do anything stupid and you should be fine. I broke that rule, though. I accidentally fell on the back of my head ice skating. And my right arm, I still can't bend all the way. It's getting better, though. I've been measuring it. And by the rate of it recovering, I should be fully recovered, I want to say, in, like, December or January. And then it's still going to be tender for another month. And then maybe 2025, I can finally get back into saber fencing. I just have to drop another a bunch of weight. And, you know, that's funny. I was, I lost, like, 25, 30 pounds last year. Not last year, like, earlier this year. And then I think it only took, like, a month or two to just gain it all back because I stopped caring. No, that was after I broke my arm. I wasn't able to go really to the gym anymore. I kind of fell out of my exercise routine. I just kind of gained all the weight back, and it's like, damn. Also, it's because, and again, I already said earlier, I'm going to break that again, but Bloodwing is a very good cook. I would even call her a chef, and I love her cooking. She made this, oh my god, I'm blanking on the name. She made this, the Greek chicken soup the other day. It was like a thick porridge. But let me tell you, like, you put it in your mouth, put a spoonful in your mouth. It's it wasn't rice. It was like a little pasta thing that looked a lot like rice. But you were immediately hit with this light lemon flavor, and then a bit of salty, but not overpowering. None of this was overpowering. That was the crazy part about it. A little bit of salty, then the flavor of the rice with chicken because it's shredded and then added back in at the end so the chicken doesn't disintegrate. So then you get the chicken flavor, and then a little bit of pepper flavor, and then it all kind of blends in together at the end. And I'm going to be honest, like, I could eat that by the bucketful. It was that delicious. But she knows how to season stuff. And I love it. Absolutely love it. Alright. Thank you for dealing with my little rambling right there. Anyway, here's what we have that I could spawn into this AO if I wanted to make it more spicy. 4 IRS squads, 18 infantry squads, 2 Shahhed drones, 2 UH-1 gunships, 20 20 T-55, 17 BMP one piece, 22 MTLBs, 2 T-50s, 4 hive mines, 1 Tunguska, 10 elite AA teams, 1 Mi-24P, 2 Forain drones, 1 BMP, 2 M2 technicals, 2 priest swarms, 2 attack patchwork, 21 T-72s, 7 BTR-70s, 5 Tunguskas, 3 T-90s, and a BM2T, or no, and 4. Wait a minute. 5 Tunguskas, 3 T-90s, and 4 BM2Ts. And then there's a space, and then 6 rifle squads, 10 AT teams, 1 elite AT team, 3 BMP-1s, and 2 off-road M2s. And then I still have 69 things of Plinko to do. Nice, and then 75 in cash reserve. I'm going to focus on... We're going to take the 2 BM... I'm going to take all of the M2 techies off the table, though. We're going to put 4 M2 techies in here. I also have a spare BMP one. I'm going to put that in this AO. Oh. Me and M2 Hilux. Okay. Because it cares about the ordering. There's a new 31st mod, so I'm going to pre-download. Yep. Valk, I'm going to be honest. I'm not really going to... It's not my focus right now, but it will be soon enough. I'm going to leave the techies kind of out and about. And here's another thing I'm going to preface. Air is probably going to find an angle to snipe a lot of these vehicles beforehand. The trick with this AO is going to literally be to just kind of have things stashed away in positions that they're not going to be super sniped by air, but, you know, still a major possibility. So, for example, I'm going to tuck this guy away right here. Air could still find an angle on it, but it's also a BMP, so it's probably just going to get sniped into oblivion. I can put another vehicle in right here, so it's like, all right, what do I shove in there? Oh, I have 3 more BMP-1s listed right there. Okay, I mean, it's just platoon of BMP-1s, F it. Platoon for infantry is anywhere from like 30 to 100, depending on the military. No, 30 to 80, because when you get in the triple digits, that's more company. But for vehicles, it's usually just 4. There isn't really a good spot for me to put this next one. That's fine. And then these are all ripped with fuel, right? Bobby, that's why you taste it before you actually put it on the sandwich, you goober. Oh, Bobby. Bobby, doggone it, Bobby. You have to taste it first. I'll put one right there. Get these squared away. Oh god, speaking of sandwiches. Whoa.
People who say nice things about their fiance's cooking gets their fiance's cooking.
Thank you. And Doritos.
Yeah.
Awesome.
It's a turkey and pesto.
And the it's the pesto. We had this sandwich shop in college that was super overpriced, but it made a really good turkey pesto for a year. Then it just kind of died. Bye. All right. I mean, AO is mostly made there. What I'm debating is adding to that AO, because I have a feeling if I just give them this to hit, they're gonna be able to hit it. What I could also do is garrison these AOs. And then we could just island hop. Did the bakery turn up? Ah, we could island hop. Because I'd love to do this for a week and then like that. And then the internal AO, I mean this is just there's a massive amount of shit to do. Alright, and then literally for the sake of the garrison, what I can just do is I can copy this, because that's going to contain everything that I need anyway. And then I just shove this all together. Because that's also 2 AOs, and we just group them together. The only additional thing I'm going to need is the IEDs. So I think that's what I'm going to do. So I'm just putting this out here to delete, but just so I can, like, visualize everything. Alright, well, I'm here. Let me go ahead and grab IEDs, finish off this AO with, it's 10 per AO, and there's 2 AO, so it's going to be 20. I'm just going to put them deep in the forest like mines. Dug in. That's 20. More turrets. I have a hard cap for turrets. Alright, I'm just going to start grabbing stuff and putting it in nice little places. So, AA turret, obviously you want a lot of space. You want it to be a bit more open, so we can put one right there. Another AA turret. Let's move it to the other AO so we can alternate. We've got a really nice tall building right here. That's going to be a great place to put it. If it will lock on... Why is the symbol for it all the way up here? What? Okay, that's Ron. I'll just put it there and it'll just auto-correct to place, I guess. That's kind of weird. SPG-9 is going to be a bit more important in this AO because we do have a ground way to move in. Again, I doubt we're going to actually have vehicles in place of this one. Why has Bobby tasted WD-40? You know, I know the answer to that question. It's because it's Bobby. Bobby, you shouldn't be eating WD-40. Bobby. Bobby is literally like an Ogren, alright? He's just... Bobby. It's one of those, like, nicer, more, like, silly Ogrens rather than the ones that'll just tear your face off for funsies. But, you know... Do the Vicks float? You're not going to drive a vehicle. No. If you try, you're literally going to spend an hour getting to that AO, and then it's only going to take 5 minutes for you to get blown up. I swear to God. Please don't. I guess I could take some... Oh. See, okay, now I gotta make a gamble here. I could take some additional Op4 vehicles. I can put them around the island if they're amphibious as, like, little turrets. And then it would just be a matter of, can air actually do recon and snipe them? And I just answered my own question there. Can air actually scout something in the POG community? Now, the individual pilots, I think they could do it. Do I think POG as a command entity would think to actually scout out their AO? No. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Most player bases can't even do that. So, no. No. Definitely a no-go, sir. I'm sorry. Sounds like a challenge. I'm just going to tell Patch also to put a 3rd helicopter crew in his roster, man. If we get 3 helis in, 1 with DAGR pods to take out light shit, I think... And to be, like, there on standby for dedicated transport, I think we can do a lot better. With the AOs. Doesn't WD-40 taste like bug spray? How do you know what bug spray tastes like? Why are you all toddlers putting things in your mouths? Didn't your parents tell you not to do that? I didn't even know this was an AA guy, but, you know, that's actually the perfect place to put him. I try to get people to scout, but they always fly 500 meters directly above the AO. Yeah, because scouting when you have a gunner with a camera is literally, hey, go 2 clicks away from the AO, put your render range up, and use that camera to go see what you can see. No, my parents weren't cowards? What? Okay, that's fine. This is why life expectancy metrics need people on the lower ends to show that our healthcare isn't actually that good, right? Yep. Totally. Where's a good place to put this? Probably right there, so he's partially covered. You're not supposed to taste the mist either, you... Okay. Okay. Liru, buddy. My friend. The voice in my head. You Zeus for a living, okay? You literally make scenarios for a bunch of manlets almost every day, okay? You can't be surprised if they're gonna be eating the mist out of the bug spray, okay? Just let it be, alright? It's like if you give them super powerful assets and they decide to kamikaze them into buildings, just let it be. Just let it be, okay? Alright. Don't let them get to you. Antifreeze is so much sweeter. Don't let them win. Don't let them win. Don't let them win. They can't win. They can't win. Don't let them win. Y'all. Y'all. You know, Cole, you're one of my players, so I can say this. How about you just go, you go get Whippets or Galaxy Gas or, you know, the nitrous oxide containers that people claim is just for flavoring whipped cream or coffee or some bullshit, right? How about you use that, okay? That way, when you get brain damage, and this is why I had to clarify that you're one of my players, it won't actually affect your performance in my operations. Alright? How about that? No. Tide Pods, they'll send you to the hospital to get your stomach pumped. I can't do that, okay? I still need my players in the op, okay? But, like, light to moderate brain damage, I mean, they're still kind of functioning, right? They can still use a computer. I'm sure that, you know, that's all we need. That's all we need. Right, sure you do, Cole. Alright. Bobby, I swear to God. I should have kidnapped you yesterday in that Hellfire op. I honestly should have just gone for it, taken my Viper, ran up, cable tied you, and ran off with you. I won't be so hesitant next time. And we can see if the player base will exchange you for an anime girl. They're not, but you know, it'll be funny. Surprised someone hasn't made an edible Tide Pod. I mean, it really wouldn't be that hard. You would just need a syringe. You would fill that syringe with like a blueberry flavoring, and then you would put it in an edible plastic or like an edible wonton wrapper, but, you know, make sure it's more clear, and then you can just go and eat that in front of people. I mean, similar to how what I would love to do when I get back into the gym is empty out a Hershey's chocolate syrup container and just fill it with water and then just drink that to freak people out. Here's the thing, though. Like, if you were to actually sell a product like that, you'd have to kind of differentiate it from actual Tide Pods so Tide doesn't sue you. But you could totally, like, set up a business where if you see people doing stupid shit on the internet... Like, does anyone remember the cinnamon challenge, for example, where you would just put a bunch of cinnamon in your mouth and, like, try to swallow? I think that was before Tide Pods even. Just make products that let people do that but actually don't have any negative side effects, and then, you know, make a TikTok go viral with it, let people buy it, and then you're good. Tide Pod Gushers collab, oh god. Yeah, the stupid challenges, but, you know, be smart about it. The natural selection challenges. Yeah, no, don't get me wrong, I used to be very for population control, but then I realized, wait, no, with the actual statistics for declining birth rates and whatnot, we're gonna get there. So, at this point, we actually kind of need to save these chuckle fucks. Ah, man. So I'm just stacking. Again, this is already a pre-made set of units that I already put in another AOs for these two AOs. Normally I wouldn't put something up here, but I'm going to put something up there. Got a good amount of units garrisoned to this group. After that, I'll then pick a few vehicles. I'll put everything down, and then I got to wrap this one up because I've got lunch right here. I'll just chill with a YouTube video or something. We import more people than the death rate. See, here's the negative repercussion about that, though. If you import too many people at one time, regardless of where you are and who you're importing, that's gonna create a cultural shift eventually. And then eventually your culture is going to change. Now, applied to America, I don't actually see that as that big of an issue compared to other places that have stronger senses of national identity. Not to say that there isn't one in America, there clearly is with the current political climate, but I digress. America's always been a melting pot of various different cultures. So I've never really seen that as a negative, but again, it's just all about ratios. If you eventually bring in so many people that it literally will outperform every other group combined, then you might have an issue. But I think America has more of a resistance to that compared to other places because there's already so many groups and different cultures here. And that's why I live in a place in the United States that's literally called a mini Korea because of all the Korean people that live here. And they also have a lot of different Asian restaurants here, and it's really, really great. Except when Bloodwing gets sick of Korean barbecue once in a blue moon, then it kind of sucks, but
Hi,
I could eat that every day.
Corporal_Liru in chat.
Hey, Ghost Wolf, how you doing, buddy? Thank you for the 32-month resub. I dream about that in a Molsk server, I just want you to know. I miss it. But I hope you're doing A-okay. Margarine, I think, is a certain... Like, it's a certain element within butter without the fatties or, fattiness or something. I don't know. Let's playing some Satisfactory? Gotcha. Honestly, I remember I used to know the difference between butter and margarine. I just don't anymore. The knowledge has escaped me. Margarine's not dairy, it's oil-based. Yeah, okay, that makes more sense then. Personally, I prefer butter over margarine, but Bloodwing's the opposite. She has a case of, I can't believe it's not butter in the fridge. And when I'm mad at her, I'll literally throw it outside to make a point. Yeah, it's oil like mayo, which makes sense because she also loves mayonnaise. Personally, I don't really like mayonnaise, but I don't mind if it's in like an oily. Oh, I can't speak. Why did Ghostwolf server go from a red death chain to a yellow? So his server always had a bit of a weird internet connection because it's just how his server was, but it never, I think there were only 2 instances where it actually affected performance. Like out of the 8 times we were on there. Yeah, I'm gonna put a few more AI in the back line over here, and then we'll drag the rest of them over. Now you're all Googling it. Margarine was just made during war times for rationing purposes. Yeah. Once you introduce something to a population, though, there's always going to be people that like it for various reasons, whether or not they actually like it or they think it's cool to like it or, you know, something like that. It's never going to go away unless you just eradicate it and everyone who likes it in the population. And then you just let it die in the stains of time, but, you know. That's how it is. Pineapple on pizza. Look, I'm going to be honest, I'm vehemently against it, but I know people that like it, and they make the argument of, you know, it has that, like, sweetness with the saltiness, especially with the ham, because pineapple have certain enzymes in it that start digesting meats and everything, so if you let it sit for a few minutes, specifically if you put the pineapple on top of the ham, then, you know, it's easier to, you know, it blends everything together. And again, I can see an argument for that. I've seen stranger combos of food. But it's just not my thing. I think people just think it's taboo for the sake it's taboo, but without crazy food combinations like that, then we wouldn't really have a lot of evolvement for food over time, but, you know, I digress. British cuisine is vile? No. Well, okay, actually, riddle me this. Who invented fish and chips? Because I'm going to admit, I'm making that tonight because Bloodwing told me she wanted some, and we had some cod in the freezer, and I haven't made it in a hot second. But I thought fish and chips was either a British thing or an Irish thing or a Scottish thing. It's from up there. I just don't remember who made it. Now, that's not to defend the entirety of culinary cuisine. I mean, there's a reason why some of, if not the most popular restaurants in Britain, specifically around the London area, are French rather than British. I think Britain got most of their food kind of stuck on, like, World War II rationing in wartime, and they just never really evolved from there. You know, God bless their... God... Yeah, I know, I would say God bless their souls at that point, but it's like, you know, just... Oh. It's not all vile, yeah. But some of it's... I don't need to keep hearing Dream rant about beans on toast, for example. Because if you don't eat that immediately, the bread's going to get freaking soggy, and it's just going to be like this slurry of wet bread and beans. It's like, ugh. Fish and chips is British? Yeah. So, I'm going to be honest. Fish and chips is pretty damn good. as long as you have some decent malt vinegar and no one fries it to hell so it's overcooked. And then, of course, if you undercook it, then you just have raw fish. And then, you know, you also don't want to slightly overcook it because then it gets too greasy. So the type of breading and the amount of breading you use is also pretty important. But, you know, a nice Guinness beer batter. Oh, shit, we don't have Guinness. We have Corolla. Or Corona, excuse me. I could make it... Yeah, I could try a Corona batter. Fuck it. We got plenty of that in the fridge. Fish and chips is kind of plain. I disagree. If you know how to season a batter properly, you can make a pretty good fish and chips. It's just a matter of portion. I would say fish and chips with a great beer batter, a bit of salt thrown in there so you get this nice, you know, hoppy flavor, but with a bit of saltiness to it. The trick is you season the fries differently, which is why I bring up malt vinegar. You could use Old Bay seasoning too. But it's all about the seasoning, because if you don't season it, then you're right. It's literally just crispy fish flavor and then bland-ass fries. And then I would 100% agree with you that, yeah, it's kind of boring at that point. I would also say MSG. We actually do have some MSG. MSG is wonderful. Unless you're that type of person that gets headaches from it, then I'm sorry, you got dealt a bad hand, similar to the people that think, oh my god, cilantro tastes like soap. You know, you're just kind of screwed. And that's just a food group you will unfortunately never be able to enjoy. But there are so many different types of food out there. You will find something that you love. Yeah, or people that have celiac disease and can't eat gluten, or people that are lactose intolerant, but sometimes they still brave it anyway because they want to taste ice cream, you know? I think what kills me the most is Bloodwing's allergic to shrimp. And I love shrimp. So much so, I once in a while invite a shrimp over to the house to make fried rice. But his very presence sometimes makes Bloodwing sneeze. So, you know, it's just it's a thin line I gotta walk. Get some good beer battered halibut fish and chips. Halibut. I love halibut. The trick, though, with halibut, I'm going to be honest, I would say out of all of the white fishes I cook with, other than some of the more exotic ones from time to time, halibut is the quickest to overcook. So when you're frying something, like with cod, I can literally, like, while the fryer is still warming up to, like, that, you know, 400 degree or 350 degree mark, depending on the size of my pieces, I can stick it in at 250 and still make, like, a nice little... Not super anemic colored, but, you know, it's still a good fish and chip portion, like for a small piece to then test it. Halibut, I don't even use a test piece. I just wait till it's ready, and then I time it down to the second. Cod is far too dirty. I disagree. Cod is usually the go-to for fish and chips. Yeah, rockfish, sea halibut. Not sea halibut, oh my god, no, sea bass. I love, I think I fell in love with rockfish at a Thai restaurant, place in McLean. I don't think it exists anymore, called Paza Thai. They had this rockfish special. They would give you a fully filleted rockfish, deep fry it, and then cover it in like a sweet and sour sauce. And it was one of the most flavorful pieces of fish. It wasn't greasy, despite it being fried, and it was delicious. And I have yet to find a good bit of fish ever since that was done just like that. Like, that's a thing I want to recreate one day. Rockfish is not sea bass? Oh, I thought they were the same thing. My bad. Oh, right, okay. So I'm just looking at my checklist right now. We have to do the IEDs. I don't think I've ever had haddock for fish and chips. That would be one I want to try. Very similar, but not the same. Got it. $10 there, because it's 10 per Mark Deo. 10 there. Yeah, no, there's this. I mean, I'll give you an example of that, Sniper. There was this one sushi place in Laguna Beach, California. My mother's Californian. We used to go all the time. Or was it La Jolla? Did I say Laguna like Goo Lagoon? Oh my god, I'm an idiot. I think it was La Jolla. It began with a Z, and they had, I think it was a halibut with a little bit of smoked mayonnaise or smoked spicy mayonnaise on top, and they would blowtorch it for like 10 seconds each individual roll. You put it in your mouth, it literally melted in your mouth. Because for whatever reason, that exact timing with the blowtorch perfectly cooked the halibut and then perfectly just melted a bit of that like smoked mayonnaise on top. Like, it melted. I cannot stress this enough. You would put it in your mouth and it would literally melt. And it was, I think, the most delicious bite I've ever had in my life. And I've been everywhere. I've been to so many different restaurants in Australia, Atlantis, Nobu, like, I still struggle to recreate that. And this is also coming from a guy obsessed with eel sushi, you know? And I'm actually really lucky. There's a place close to where I live in Chantilly called Sushi, Ohio. $27.99 all you can eat sushi with rolls. But they do eel sushi. So I have had a day where I went there and literally ordered nothing but eel sushi. And after 20 pieces, I finally got other stuff. But it was delicious. It's protected where you are? Oof. I don't think that should stop it from being imported from other places, though. No, but then again, that just depends on your local laws. Alright, hold on. I'm going to be adding some stuff here. I have 7 BTR 70s. Let's go ahead and throw those in. I also have 1 Tunguska up here. I'm going to put that in the AO. For fuck's sake, Bobby. All this food stock make me want a kudu, bro. I don't know what that is, and I'm worried about saying it in case it gets me into trouble. Desert Army's fine. I need 7 of these. It's animal fare. Well, funny enough, Ghost Wolf, I think, is South African, so he would know. Because Boone's talking about a neighbor who's South African that, you know, has really good cuisine. That's another thing, too. Indian food at, like, 4 out of 5 places sucks. But if you find that one 5 out of 5 place that does it, it changes your life. My buddy Dante, he knows an Indian restaurant up in Pennsylvania we've gone to, I think, once. And it was absolutely amazing. Like, it was a buffet style, all you can eat, fresh naan bread. Just everything they had was absolutely amazing. Big antelope, gotcha. Alright, then there's one more, I believe. For me to place. Put it over there on the side. If I'm ever in Malaysia, Bobby, I will come by and say hello, just to make sure you're not doing anything silly, okay? Yeah, I get it. Yeah, it's also, you know, tradition, history, that can also help shape laws. But, you know, it's a shame when it comes to food, because I'm American, so I'm used to being able to try and eat whatever the heck is around, right? You know, Squirrel, yeah, I wouldn't put it past Bobby to have me come to his country and then he does something like sell my organs on the black market. I wouldn't put it past him. Bobby's unpredictable. Alright, what other vehicles do I want to start putting in here? No, we already took care of the mortar. I'm gonna do 4 T-72s as well, and then I think we'll call it there. I wonder what giraffe tastes like. I don't know why, but I feel like it would taste similar to horse, but I don't even know what horses taste like. Lobster platter with Screech in Newfoundland. Fair. All right, guys, I'm gonna be honest. I got lunch behind me. I've been this AO's ready to go on an hour. Hi, Boo. Did I pull out the bass? Oh, shit. Can you pull the cod out then? I'm sorry about that. Oops. I'm in Northern Virginia, Boone. It's funny. I actually had a fan come over a few weeks ago, and we drank a lot of homebrew. But that's what I got going for me. But anyway, guys, I'm gonna take a break, eat lunch, get this mission file exported, go reach out to Patch, talk to him about some of the AO stuff, and then there's a few other sites I want to put in. I just don't want to stream their locations because you know, fair and square. All right. Yeah, and all this food talk's making me hungry too, so I want to wrap this up. I'll be back maybe in an hour or two for, again, another mission dev. But thank you for the food talk. Otherwise, thanks so much for watching. Go operate operationally. Enjoy the rest of your day or night. Cheers, and have a good meal wherever you are.